Hi, this is Kenneth Wong, Senior Editor for Desktop Engineering Magazine. Traditionally, the design workflow revolves around a CAD program installed on a desktop workstation. But the people's shift to mobile devices raises questions about how to best accommodate that preference. One approach might be the desktop-mobile hybrid workflow, exemplified by the web-based CAD program Onshape. Onshape is a new kind of CAD program which runs inside a browser like SaaS or Software as a Service offering. So the data, that is the design files you create with this program, are automatically archived in the cloud. And this sets the stage for the desktop mobile workflow. Now here I am creating a new part in Onshape. Even though I'm working with a CAD software inside a browser, the interface is set up like a classic parametric CAD package with all the familiar tools and buttons. So it feels quite natural to work with it with a mouse and a keyboard. And I don't necessarily need a high-end workstation. Since it's running on a browser, I can get away with a laptop or a generic desktop so long as I have a decent internet connection. I happen to be running this on a personal home DSL network. Now let's pretend that I'm on the go traveling somewhere and I happen to have my iPad with me. Suppose I just have an idea about how to best modify the file or the project that I've been working on. I'm going to launch Onshape mobile app from my iPad. Once I log in using the same credentials as I signed on to Onshape from a browser, I get access to the same saved documents. So I'm going to launch this project that I've been working on previously. This time I'll be working on it inside my iPad Onshape app. Some operations like sketching in 2D or adding dimensions to your 2D profile, in my view anyway, those seem to work a lot better with a mouse and a keyboard, usually associated with working from a desktop workspace. With other operations like extrusion or adding rounded corners to your edges, well, they really don't make a whole lot of difference, so I can also use my fingertips effectively to execute them. Now once I'm done with my modification on the iPad, I close the iPad app. The app, just like Onshape online program, is constantly saving documents, so I don't explicitly have to tell the software to save a change. It's automatically done. Then when I get back to my office, suppose I think about a new component I'd like to add to my design. Now I'm going to launch Onshape again from my desktop browser and continue to work on the same file as if it is one uninterrupted, continuous project workflow. So you might have to ask, what's the difference between using Onshape on an app as an iPad app and using Onshape from a browser? After all, I could have simply opened a browser on iPad and run Onshape that way. The way I see it, the app is developed with multi-touch navigation in mind, so some operations feels much more intuitive in the app when you have to use your fingertip to navigate and rotate and enter data fields. There are other operations that feels a lot more natural working from a desktop using a mouse and a keyboard. Certainly for design work sessions that are going to be extended and a lot longer, I'd rather work on a desktop than on a mobile device. But the point I'd like to make here is this. Straddling both the desktop and the mobile world, or accommodating a workflow that lets a designer use any device they want, whether they are traveling or in an office, should be the new paradigm. And Onshape's cloud-hosted architecture makes this relatively simple and a lot easier. A desktop CAD program can also accomplish pretty much the same thing by developing a mobile app. A companion mobile app, if you will, but the file transfer and data syncing in the background is probably going to be a lot smoother if all the data lives in the cloud to begin with. That is certainly the case with Onshape. Recently, Onshape launched an app store that offers other plugins and companion programs from its software partners. One of them is the rendering program Keyshot. So now, while I'm running Keyshot, I have the option to directly connect to Onshape, then import my Onshape project straight into my Keyshot rendering environment. Onshape is a relatively newcomer to the market, but you may also look to the way Autodesk, an established design software maker, has set up the desktop mobile hybrid workflow with its web-friendly product AutoCAD 360. This gives us clue to the way engineers and designers will prefer to work in the future. Until next time, this is Kenneth Wong wishing you a very happy holiday season and a new year.